Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Code Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. We continue our recitation from Suhi Mahalla Chotha, composition of the fourth Nanak, Guru Ram Das. And this sabad appears to be in a sequence with the previous two. The first was where we diagnosed kora, untreated cloth that takes no dye. And then the second one, just prior to this, was the fire going out in an instant, the fire of Trishna. And this one here, we will see, delivers the dye itself. It's called rang, a word that means both color and joy and love. So the first verse is where the grace applies the color. Suhi Mahalla Chotha, Har Kripa Kare man har rang laye, Gurmukh har har naam samaye. Har Kripa Kare, when Har grants grace, it colors the mind. Man har rang kar laye. Gurmukh har har naam samaye. So when the color is applied through the guidance of the Guru, the mind dissolves into that color. Gurmukh har har naam samaye. So rang is being applied multiple ways. It is the dye, the color. It is also the love and joy of that wisdom we call naam. And it is also a celebration, rang. So to be dyed is to be in love. To be in love means, in this context, to have one's attention completely taken over. So, Har Kripa Kare, if the all-pervading one so favors, then it bestows its grace. So it is not up to us. It is not self-effort. Grace is the receiving of an unmerited gift, nothing that you did. In fact, if you try to do too much, you might be preventing yourself from receiving that gift. And the gift obviously is a rang, which is being dyed in that divine hue, in that verdant, creative green of Har. So grace should be viewed as a disruption. It disrupts your ego pattern of thinking, which is nothing more than your social programming. And Gurmukh is the orientation that your mind now takes. It's Guru guided. The Rahao talks about the delighting, the sense of joy that comes from being Har Ranga Rapta, Man Ranga Mane, Sada Anand Rahe Din Rati, Pure Gur Ke Sabd Samane Rahao, Har Ranga Rapta, Man Ranga Mane. The mind is now dyed in the color of Har, and it enjoys that color. It delights in it, abides in Anand, day and night. To be dyed, to be imbued, requires a purging of the ego, which the ego cannot do. It cannot purge itself. It requires the Guru's word, sabad, which acts as a structural override. So the Guru's word is like an empty signifier for the mind now, in that it does not give the ego new labels to attach itself to. So it's not replacing the labels that you have currently attached. It just washes them out. It cuts right through the noise of me, mine, and resonates with the underlying how, your core awareness. And once the sabad resonates with your core awareness, the mind begins to recover. It is now thoroughly saturated by the creative field of Har. So Manne is also Harranga. Manne means to accept, to internalize. It also means to give your assent or surrendering. And Manne also means the enjoyment of an experience, but not in the ordinary sense. That experience is Ananda, which we will encounter in the next stanza. Sada Ananda rahe din rati. So this Anand breaks the cycle of that toxic, compulsive, painful pleasure, that state of joyance of the ego, that libidinal satisfaction that the ego mind has been trained to enjoy. It knows that what it goes after will give it momentary pleasure followed by a letdown, but it still keeps itself trapped in that loop. And so the enjoyment of Anand, which the Guru gives, is one of total rapture. It is raw, unconditioned, the act of being alive and aware. It's not focused on any object, but the process. Gurbani also calls it a carefree state, ve parvaho. This is the profound pleasure of being an empty vessel that is perfectly synchronized with the current. It goes wherever the current takes it. And here's the truth. Har rang ko loche sab koi. Everyone longs for it. Gurmukh rang chalula hoi. But it is the Gurmukh that is able to dye itself. Chalula, top grade, saturated crimson that does not fade. And then here is the untreated cloth, the ego, the manmukh. Manmukh mugad nar kora hoye, jeso locha rang na hove koye. Jeso locha. Even if the manmukh desires or wills 100 times, it cannot be dyed. Why? Because it is kora. It is intoxicated and it is kora, untreated. So, what is kora really from a mental perspective? It means imperviousness, indifference. So the ego mind is impervious to anything like being dyed. So Manmukh is not necessarily a bad or a good or a sinful person. It's just that it is someone whose inner vessel is completely shellacked by a thick defensive coating of social programming, intellectual arrogance, defensive rationalizations. It's that untreated cloth. So Kora really is what we have to treat. And it is treated how? Again, we come back, the arc comes back. Nadar kare jata satgur pave, nanak har ras har rang samave. It all boils down to nadar. When the har glances. So there is this conditional order. Grace precedes everything. That is how it works. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.